explosive shells do a much better job for fire targets. They are also used for firing at the other types of ships. The primary targets for cruisers are other cruisers, destroyers, and aircraft carriers. You fire at enemy cruisers with armor-piercing shells and at the others with high-explosive shells. When you're playing on a destroyer, use high-explosive shells. Its main battery isn't as powerful as that of other ship types, but there is a chance to cause a fire. You can shoot at cruisers with armor-piercing shells at close to mid-range if you're sure that you will hit the citadel. But it's sometimes better to wait than to shoot. You won't do much damage, but you will give away your position and catch an enemy salvo. In a battle, try to aim at the hull center slightly above the waterline. That's where the citadel is located, the Achilles heel of a warship. A direct hit on the engine room or ammunition quarters also inflicts high damage. In some cases, this will lead to a ship exploding. Your ship also has vulnerable spots, just like the enemy ships. Try to protect these spots from enemy fire. Skilled maneuvers will help you survive. If you turn your ship with the bow or stern to the enemy, it will be more difficult to hit you. You should avoid torpedoes the same way. The selection of a suitable shell type in different situations is half the battle. Use enemy weaknesses, hide your disadvantages, and win battles in World of Warships Blitz. Greetings, Captains. World of Warships Blitz takes you to the heart of World War II era naval battles. The game features more than 90 ships of different nations: the USA, Germany, Japan, the USSR, and more. They are split into 4 types: battleships, cruisers, destroyers, and aircraft carriers. Cruisers and battleships have 2 types of guns, main and secondary. Destroyers, and some cruisers, have torpedoes instead of secondary guns. So what do you need to know to fire effectively? We'll show you. Tap the fire button once, and the first loaded and aimed gun will fire. Tap it again, the second gun will fire. Quickly tap it twice. All guns will fire at once. Tap and hold the button. The guns will fire continuously, one by one. To increase...
Welcome, Captains, to this Facebook live stream where we're going to discuss the new update of World of Warships Blitz. This is update 1.2. So I'm Captain Nad, and I'm the game lead. And this is Fox.
I'm a game manager here on World of Warships Blitz.
Cool. So yeah, we decided to do this this live stream with the players because I think that a lot of things in the previous update were not clear. We have a lot of a lot of questions from our players, and I think that the feedback that we've received so far has been really useful, especially for us to balance the game, to also decide which features we want to implement. So hopefully, this is a format that you guys will enjoy, and then we will reconduct that in the future if that's useful for the community.
Yeah, and what's really great is actually you can right now in the comments section you can start asking questions that we'll answer, near the end of the video. Just to really mirror what Nad said, a lot of the feedback that we've been getting from you guys has been incredibly helpful. It's been certainly insightful, and we hope that this open forum really kind of helps bridge some communication barriers.
Yeah, cool. So now we can switch to the game so that you guys can see what's new in update 1.2 that is now available. So some stores and some countries takes more time to refresh, but the build has been pushed live, and you guys can get everything that you will see in the game. So the main thing that we have in this update is you can see here. Well, actually, before we talk about the USSR, we have the new Pan Asia.
The Honghe.
Yeah. So we have this new ship in the Pan Asia. That's the first one.
Yeah, it's actually available right now for gold, completely ready to go.
Yeah, so that's the Pan Asia, but the meat of the content here with the update 1.2 is the USSR destroyers.
One of my favorite lines.
Why is it your favorite line?
So, destroyers right now, generally speaking, have a very singular type of play that we're seeing.
Torpedoes.
Yeah, it's a lot of torpedo play. But what you get out of this specific tech line is that you have this longer range for your cannons, and specifically you're seeing flatter arcs, faster shells. So it's really meant, for this faster moving, like longer range combat, and just kind of chipping away at your enemy. The really great feature about this, and what I love about these destroyers, is that they're some of the fastest in the game. There's some that I believe can go up to 45 to 48 knots. Yeah. That's ridiculously fast. Now, what it trades off for, like in this speed, is that it's got this lowered maneuverability. So you're really committing to these turns that you're making during combat. As far as torpedoes go, which I know is a question for a lot of destroyers players, you are seeing lower range effectively on the torpedoes, but where they really shine is sort of an ambush or close quarters combat attack. So, hiding behind an island, or, a well-placed time trap for, sticking in really early, blowing away what you can, and then driving out as fast as possible.
Yeah, so we're going to see that in battle immediately, but before we jump into the battle, I'd like to show you guys some new features that we have. So we have now the free look camera, which enables the players, like all of us now, we can move the camera and look around, see where we're positioning ourselves without actually moving the cannon. That's super useful, especially for our battleships, because battleships that have very, very slow cannons, when you want it to look like you're getting hit on the right and you're shooting on the left, it's very difficult. And so that's something that we added, and that's something that that you guys have been asking for. So again, keep providing us feedback on our Facebook page through customer support. There's also a Facebook group managed by the community that we look at a lot, Discord as well. So to enable that feature, actually, you would need to go to your settings, as we can see here, and then under the controls, you have the enable free look camera option. So I'm going to enable that now, and we're going to be able to see that in the battle right now. So I'm going to take the tier 6, because the bots are pretty difficult.
I think what Ned's trying to say is that this may be one of his first battles on a destroyer. Yeah,
I'm not. I actually have the Sims, but destroyers are not my type. So actually, Fox, you're a CV player.
Yeah, I am a CV player,
and I'm a cruiser player. So hopefully, we'll get some.
So you can tell
here, because I see that there's no one that wants to play with me right now. We're on the test server actually, so that's why. But I'll probably be playing with some funny bots again.
No, it's not too bad.
And we can see in the game now like what are like the strengths and weaknesses of the USSR destroyers, but also look at the free look camera. Look, and there is aircraft carriers, so that's going to be
Beautiful.
Great. And there's also a new battle commands.
Yeah, so one of the things that we really felt was lackluster was players being able to communicate with each other. So what you'll see right out the gate is Nad's tapping on that talk bubble, and we've got some very basic commands like go and capture the enemy base, or defend our own. Yeah. We have a yes and no function just for quick explanation, and if you still really like to annoy people with constant greeting spam, it's actually still there, just under another talk bubble. So let's jump in, Nad, before your team drives away from you.
I'm greeting everyone personally. All the bots here have been greeted personally.
So what you're going to see right off the gate is if you're looking at the knots gauge, we can actually see it like it's bumping all the way up to nearly 41 knots.
Yeah.
Nad right now he's using the free look camera. So why don't we pan right and let your cannons align?
So you see here, I can look around while my cannons are still aligned. So even if I'm looking front, we can see that the cannons are shooting where they've been aligned previously. So that enables you, like, if you target a ship and the aiming and the cannons have been locked onto that ship, that enables you, like, to look around and gives you a better situational awareness.
And just so you know, that function rests just above the movement controls for acceleration. So all it is just a tap and hold and swiping left or right to actually see what's around you. So here we see Nad shooting at somebody who's hiding behind an island.
Yeah.
You can see that his skills are
Well,
truly
look at
in
that.
place.
Oh, wow. Like he rammed that boat. So
Beautiful bot play.
Yeah. So that's one thing actually that you guys have been talking a lot about, and like how the bots behave. So sometimes they seem to be doing things that appear unnatural.
A little weird, yeah.
Yeah, pretty weird. Actually, like it's not due so much to the bot logic, but due to the fact that bots are calculated on the server. So when you see them doing something, that would illustrate you like if you have some lag. Well, I'm not going to be able to hit that guy. Well, I'm embarrassing myself now in public. Wow, thank you, Leila Kif.
There you go. All right.
So so bots, actually, that's something that I wanted to talk about, like bots and torpedoes as well. We've seen a lot of comments where, torpedoes seems to be broken. Sometimes you don't look like you've been hit, but actually you take the damage from the torpedo. That's due to the fact that the hitbox and the damages, everything is calculated on the server. So if you have like some lag in the game, it doesn't look like you've been hit, but actually on our server, the ship has been hit and the torpedo is hit.
Right.
So that's why you would see the damage.
We're always trying to
Like,
improve some of what's on our side. We're trying to improve on the server end, but a lot of it is generally sort of lag related. Certainly, don't be afraid to send us anything that looks out of place, or contact customer support when you think other weird things are happening. You never know when it might be something that we can help fix.
Cool. So we see I'm still alive. I'm pretty proud of that.
My God.
I was really nervous about jumping into the game with people watching live and seeing myself getting destroyed pretty fast. So actually,
go ahead and start firing. And what you can see is, like, if you look at those arcs as he's firing, like just that nice flat or more flattened arc that you're seeing, the really fast shell time, like this has a very similar feel to your American destroyers in terms of fire, but right now you can see he's sort of doing that stick and move where blast them while he can, get out as quickly as possible.
I managed to hit two boats here with one.
Oh.
Sorry, with one salvo of torpedoes.
And you can see he's aligning himself to the T so that he's actually moving away as fast as possible, making himself as small to hit as he can.
We can see here
you're just out of that engagement almost immediately.
44 knots here.
And right into a salvo.
Damn, Wargaming has lost.
Oh, that's pretty rough. Yeah. So let's take a look at how you did.
Yeah, that's something that we're going to see pretty soon. And we're going to talk about another subject that the community has been talking about a lot, which is the silver economy.
Oh, yeah.
So we made some changes to that. If Fox, you want to talk more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're always trying to, tune our economy to make sure that it feels balanced, that, people are receiving the right values, that you're not generally getting stuck in places that feel weird. A lot of our investigation and personal experience, has mirrored some of the communities. So we've been trying to think about where we can, sort of bolster that silver gain that still makes it feel fair. So right now we've actually committed to Tier 3 and through Tier 8. You're going to see about a 15 to 30% increase from the silver that you would get from damage caused during a match. So the more damage that you're doing, you're going to be earning more of that silver. There's also two other places in which we've increased silver for battle calculations, which is the number of kills that you get. We've increased the amount of silver gained from there by 10%, so the more kills you do, even better. And point captures have actually been increased by 10%. So the more you're helping your team, the more you're pushing objectives, the more that you are contributing in battle now actually gives you more silver.
Yeah, actually, that's one of the most difficult part of our job, is to balancing the economy, and that's something that we're constantly doing. So that's why, again, player feedback is really important. Even though we design something initially when we expect some behaviors, when the community behaves differently and actually optimize their play, then we see different behaviors. So right now, that's something that we're adjusting, and then we'll be monitoring the data, hearing like the players' feedback, and continue keeping a look on that. I'm really proud because I got the battle star again.
even though you died at a minute and
but
50.
look, I did I'm playing against the bots, so it's pretty easy to be
die.
better than them. Yeah. So we're going to see some silver change. As you can see here, the silver change are so big that I have 614 million.
Can you actually do me a quick favor? Let's head back to the tech tree and look at that Honghae. So this is the new ship that we described, and one of the first things that I want to show is actually back on the tech tree. If you'll notice in the buffs, it's not a plus 20% silver gain. All premium ships now have plus 25% silver gain. So we're even looking at players who have decided to make a purchase of a premium ship and making sure that they also feel some of that love.
Yeah, I felt that love with my DeGrasse.
Why would you like the DeGrasse? It seems a strange choice for you, Ned.
Yeah, well, it's the best ship. I love. I'm French, so I play all the French ships. The Dunkirk is a really great ship.
Oh yeah.
I'm having trouble handling her because I'm not a battleship player, but I think the Dunkirk is also a really great ship. So. Yeah. But don't worry, guys. It's not because I'm French that we're gonna be releasing more French ship. We actually have big plans for other lines. That's not something that we're gonna be discussing now. We have new ships coming up in the future. So here we have the Russian line and oops, sorry.
Hey. What was that? What was that back there?
Well, I guess we can show her.
Yeah, so we actually on release.
Yeah, the players have seen it. It was shown in the build. So some of you are really fast and were really prompt to see the Scharnhorst. So yeah, actually, we're gonna take her out for a spin while we're gonna answer questions because I think that's one of the most anticipated ship. Like I said again, I'm not a battleship player, but I think she's gorgeous, and also during the test phase, she's a really good ship. I like the fact that she has torpedoes and everything, so really versatile, very versatile ship. But so before we take out her for a spin, what I wanted to show is also the new port that we have. So. You can change your port because actually that's not very clear to many people. You can change your port by under your portrait on the top left of the screen. You have this little anchor that you can press, and here we are on Hawaii, and we have the new St. Petersburg port.
So let's take a look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's beautiful.
So the St. Petersburg port is actually available for free for all players that have unlocked Tier 5 destroyers.
Yeah.
On the Russian line.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you unlock a Tier 5 Russian destroyer, you will immediately have this port available, and it's very beautiful. We're seeing this nice St. Petersburg at night. You have this ugly ship in your way, but let's take a look at the rest of that. I mean, really.
Yeah, it's really great.
as I pan towards the water.
Don't leave me alone. But anyway, the only drawback is that you cannot shoot that ship over there.
Exactly.
But you can have a pretty cool look of the city. That's the new port. It's available now. You can unlock it for free. So like I said, you go under your portrait and you can select your ports here. We've had some questions, some people were asking how to get the new port. So here it is. So we've seen the Hungary, we've seen the USSR destroy line. We can talk also wanted to talk about ranked battle.
Oh yeah.
So now there is a new banner, as you can see here on the top left of the screen, for events, and we're already in season 9. We're so far in the future.
Wow! Look at that ranking. I mean, you've gotten to bronze 1 already.
Bronze 1. It took me 9 seasons to get to bronze 1. So hopefully, I'm gonna increase my score. I have 6 days left. But why my bronze score is there? It's because we had the time slot that I couldn't play on. Yeah.
So we did have an issue, and that's one of the first things that I want to bring up is so part of the feedback that we received about Ranked Battle for the first season was, there just wasn't enough time for me to, come on either late at night or maybe when my family's having dinner. So we wanted to provide a secondary slot to make it a little easier for people, and we called this the lunchtime slot. In the EU, however, we actually saw for the past 2 days now that things haven't been, or the lunchtime slot actually hasn't been available. We are looking into this currently, and we'll have some sort of fix in place as quickly as possible, as well as some sort of reconciliation for the EU players, probably an extension of Ranked Battle itself, so that you guys can compete for just a little longer. Get up to the division that you actually wanted to get to, and maybe a little bit of ranked currency. But more to come on that as it comes out. But yeah, other than just the additional time slot, we've actually augmented. We wanted to make it a little easier to get to master, right? So we've made it actually the early stages in the master division a little less punitive. So you're losing less points overall when you lose. We wanted to make bronze something that people got through a little faster, so we also reduced the amount of points that you would lose in bronze overall. So, really what we're trying to do is get people more towards the middle and matching with each other that way. And speaking of the matching portion of it, we actually did augment the matchmaker for this patch for Ranked Battle. So the way that it operates is that depending on your division, we want to look at really structuring both teams to feel like it has the same amount of skilled players on it. So maybe each team will both have one master player, 1 diamond, 3 gold, and a couple of silvers, maybe a bronze on each side. We want to see that be balanced alongside of making sure that we've got the right ship type balance, and making sure that really that it feels like these teams aren't completely skewed for one end or another. Of course, your feedback's always welcome on this. We're constantly trying to make tweaks to the matchmakers to feel a little bit good, but also just we like fast queue times, and we don't like mismatched teams.
Actually, on matchmaking, I wanted to touch on that subject in the more general sense of the game, and not only on Ranked Battle. So we receive a lot of comments and a lot of feedback on the current matchmaking system for the other game modes, and that's something that we're looking at. That's something that we're going to address in the future builds. Like I was saying, with the economy as well, the matchmaking system was designed to guarantee a fast matchmaking, and we didn't expect the community to be playing one type of ship more than the others, etc. So right now we have that issue where sometimes you would see a lot of one type of ship on one side and not on the other one. That's not the best experience. So that's something that we're going to be addressing with the next build. It's pretty complicated to design the matchmaking system, but definitely players' feedback has been really good. The players have suggested a lot of great ideas. Sharing your screenshots as well enables us to see the different cases that you guys are encountering.
Absolutely.
So that's something that we will talk more in the future about it. But right now on the Ranked Battle, actually, I think there is something, Fox, that was not clear to all the players, is basically the points that you get.
Right. So
if you can explain that.
Absolutely. So there was a little bit of one of the bigger pieces of feedback that we got was we wanted to see how well a player performed would actually influence the score that they got. So we have a baseline of 100 points per victory currently, and your losses or the points that you lose changes as you go up divisions. Well, depending on your placement within that team, either win or lose, the higher up you are, the more points you win or the less points you lose. The lower you are, you actually get a lower score on the winning team and you lose more points so really, there is this element of skill that's playing into it. It's not immediately obvious because it wasn't immediately shown, say, on the UI. This is something we're looking into being a little bit more prevalent or available for players to be able to see, because your skill does matter, and we do think that you should be rewarded for actually engaging within the battle and trying to make sure that your team is victorious.
Cool. Yeah, so log in for season 2, and now I can finally play at launch. Yeah, hopefully you guys will do good, and hopefully I'll manage to reach higher than bronze 1 in this season. So I'm taking the Scharnhorst for a spin now, and while we look at the questions that we've got from the players.
We actually, our first request was from Wei, which is play the Scharnhorst.
Okay, yeah, I'm playing it. Fine.
This looks like a beautiful ship.
Yeah,
so for those that aren't too interested in the questions, we're going to watch Nad completely...
embarrass the Scharnhorst.
Oh, don't say that.
She's such a great ship, though.
She's really gorgeous. Yeah. So what is unique about this, for players who don't know a little bit about the Scharnhorst, it has actually 3 different modes of attack. So we right now, we see them on main guns, we have secondary guns, and we also have torpedoes on a battleship.
Yeah, that's really great, because when you have those little destroyers coming right next to you and they don't know the ship, and then when you release a salvo of torpedoes on their destroyer, that's usually a big surprise.
It's a very good feeling.
Yeah. Wow, they're all clustered together here. Again, this is the test server, so don't play like that, guys.
Just rush in, all in.
Yeah.
So our next question is actually from Nastase. Can you optimize for older Samsung devices, Samsung J5, etc.? There are occasional frame rate drops. So, I think in general, we're always trying to look at what devices we can support. There's obviously, each device has different problems that we have to address. And I strongly ask, the community, if you're seeing issues that don't feel right, especially, you're referencing the Samsung J5, write into customer support. This is actually how we can help catalog a lot of these errors and issues. And it helps not just us understand, what problems are out there, but it also helps our QA team sort of refine its practice. So, this is always something that we're trying to deal with. So our next question is from Jayesh. When are you fixing the bots that can do a spin 360 degrees?
Yeah, so that's something that I discussed before. Actually, the bots don't do that.
So visually,
how it looks.
Visually, they do.
So that's something that has to do with the general connection, so to the server, because I managed to
you've run yourself a
yeah.
So what Ned's
I'm trying to talk and
So
and thank you, Jayesh. You made me.
Wow! So it is mostly a lag related issue, right? So the bots are actually being are completely controlled by the server. So a lot of it has to do with, say, they are colliding into an island, or you might see them flip 360 degrees. Generally, what we've seen is that this is a connection issue. If it's something that we're always looking into. We don't want our bots to look like they're just, spazzing out of control. From what we understand of the problem currently, this is mostly connection related. So, for our next,
no!
What is wrong with you?
No.
What is wrong with you?
Thank you, Jayesh. Thanks to you, I went straight into the island and stuck my. But the thing is that I tried to go into the island and spin like the bots, but it didn't work. So,
this is a really clever tactic. So our next question actually comes from Brandon. Fix the reaction time for bots. They turn immediately when he drops torpedoes. So this is, again, one of those issues where we're seeing this be sort of a connection-related thing. Please do still send in videos or information around this. It does help us just in case one of these scenarios aren't related to connection, but it's something where these guys are being controlled from the server, and so their pathing is mostly done that way.
Yeah. So, but for the bots logic as well, we're trying. Our bots don't learn by themselves, but we're trying to learn from the game data that we're seeing from the players and try to improve the bot's behavior. So
why don't you take the Hong Hai out first, Ben?
Oh yeah,
You got to buy it first.
Yeah.
So,
even of gold.
So from Amir, will we get events where one can win premium ships? So great question. The answer is of course yes. In fact, right now in ranked mode. The more that you play within that mode, you have these coins that you can actually win, and over the course of several seasons, or maybe even as low as 3 seasons, you can actually get a Tier 5 premium ship completely for free. This is something that we want to continue to do for the community. We're offering a lot of different events in the coming year where we want you guys to engage with something and feel rewarded for the work that you guys do. So if you haven't checked out Ranked Battle, maybe check out Ranked Battle. It's pretty cool. So from Long, do we have any plans to improve blueprint drop rates?
Yes. That's something we're working on. I can't say much about it yet.
No.
But that's something that we are looking at. So right now we're in the data collection phase. We're also listening to feedback around that. That's something that we kicked off, and hopefully we'll see something soon.
Yeah. So sit tight. What I think is some cool stuff is coming down the pipeline to sort of address that issue, because even from our standpoint, we'd like to see a few more blueprints in our own warehouse.
Yeah.
From Nastase again, any plans to release on Windows/Steam?
Well, we just released on Apple and Google, so there is currently no plans on that. That's something that might happen in the future, but at the moment, now we're focusing on the platforms where we exist. We want to make sure that the game is focusing on the balancing, focusing on the features that you guys have requested before we start releasing on other platforms.
Could happen.
Cool.
All right.
So, do we have any other question?
Yeah. So from Anne, will you add live chat in battle? This is a back and forth a lot of the time.
Yes,
yeah.
That's something that we had. That's something that we had before the game even released. That's something that we had, but we felt that this was distracting and also you can see in the battle already when you have a bunch of players spamming the command controls. So I don't know. Right now, there is no plans around that, but that's something that of course, we're always open to hear feedback about.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's I think we're always looking for simple solutions to how players can communicate with each other in battle. That's part of what the communication update was for. There's just we'd like to limit toxicity while also increasing accessibility for teams to work together. So, using smokescreen?
And
are you afraid?
Yeah, because I put myself in a...
and I've just actually been told about this. Maintenance is in 30 minutes on the EU server to fix matchmaking. And it will only last 30 minutes, just so you guys know. Thank you.
Cool.
So EU server be warned. Richard asks, well, how about voice chat then?
That's something that we had as well, right?
Yeah, so we played around with voice chat for a little while. There are definite pros and cons to it, as I'm sure most people out there can imagine what the cons might be. And the pros being, obviously we have some direct channel communication across teams. It's always something that I think, are talking points within the team. It's something that, before we make any hard decisions about wide chat or voice chat, we're always going to try and optimize for, little parts of communication, right? So like, oh my God, you are, come on. Oh,
yes.
Oh my, you are so lucky that you didn't get killed by a bot.
Well, no, actually, I know the game so well that I knew exactly where the torpedo would stop. So I just tried to create some tension here.
And just to put a cap on voice chat, like
sync now.
Certainly, this is something that comes up a lot. So like we're always going to continue to discuss it because it's a hot issue within our community. So from Brandon, would it be possible to resupply while in the team room? And how about an auto resupply for the consumables? So I know that there is an answer to this issue, and it's one of the things that we are in discussions about on how to best sort of create a loadout management. So you don't really have to think about it as much. I think that an auto resupply for consumables is pretty lightweight. Part of the reason that we actually didn't go with it initially was we didn't want to simply immediately debit people's gold if they chose to go with premium consumables. But it's something that we're reevaluating just to kind of make it easier for players to not have to think so much before they commit to a battle or get into what I consider a bad situation, coming in unprepared without what you wanted in there. It may not necessarily live in the team room. Maybe there's just a smarter way for us to do that so that there are a little bit better options. But this is something that is in discussions and something that the team wants to tackle, and it's a very, very good question. So, back to Ad, are you?
I'm still
failing?
alive. I'm still alive.
My God, your whole team's alive.
Yeah. Well, you see here we have
Don't.
only cruisers battle.
So this is actually your specialty.
Yeah,
right?
that's the kind of games that I love. But yeah.
Oh wow, this is actually one of my favorite maps. You know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
it's
is
just,
that?
it's really easy to traverse between like the different points themselves. Even though there's a lot of like negative space, there's a lot of like water out there. I generally feel like a lot of the battle gets concentrated near the middle so that people can sort of freely move between points. It really makes the whole thing feel a little bit more tense for being such a large map.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Do we have any more questions?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Cool.
So finish up this battle and don't completely whiff.
Yeah.
Because I know
I
you're.
have 32 seconds left.
Don't
I
be a
want to stay.
potato.
Yeah. I want to stay alive. Oh yeah, that's the last ship left. So
Come on, buddy.
we can
Come on,
sink it.
buddy. Get that extra silver.
Do I get the finishing shot?
Come
Oh
on.
my god, this bot is gonna steal my kill. Oh no, he stole my kill.
Battlestar.
But yeah, Battlestar. I guess that's a good way to end the stream. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you for your questions. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for playing the game and providing your feedback. Hopefully we'll see you on the sea. Bye guys.